days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, you give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
How should people be covering Caitlyn Clark? If you were in charge of, which you are, of your stuff, what's been the biggest faux pas with the coverage of Caitlyn Clark and the WNBA this season?
I think a lot of people, when people move the needle, you cover them. I just don't know what people expect. She's a story. You know, when they're getting higher TV ratings than men's college basketball, and let's not kid ourselves. People can say whatever they want for whatever reason. A lot of what made people pay attention to Caitlyn Clark was because she was making logo threes. It's not that she was playing your typical women's basketball, college basketball. Nobody would be interested in that. It was the Steph Curry effect. That's what got the attention of most guys who are looking at this woman, you know, shooting from half court and whatnot. When people say that it's only because she's white and that's why they're making a big deal about it, it's not just that. I think you have to be honest with yourself and look at it. And when she plays and her numbers, a lot of it, sure, people want to see people who look like them. So I'm not disputing that, right? The same way that if you're black and it was somebody when Tiger Woods, it's the same exact thing. Black people went crazy for golf when Tiger Woods was winning, right? We're watching stuff, buying golf equipment, joining not country club, but going out to play more than ever before. Yeah. So I get
but
that.
we weren't calling white people out of their names and making monkey noises and going on social media and using the wigger word and calling people monkeys and stuff.
We're not doing that. I got that on that, but there are always going to be those people out there, Karen, who are going to interject that kind of stuff because they don't feel comfortable with what's happening or whatever. So I'm not excusing that. But she's a big story, and the real story is look at the attendance at the other WNBA games and then look at the attendance of her games. It's that simple.
Should she have been on the Olympic team?
No.
Okay. All right. That's it. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. That's journalism.
You heard what
I said. For the record.
I gave her the props, but I don't think she belonged on the Olympic team.
I agree with you completely. And for the record, when Tiger Woods was dominating, I was being racist to white people for those.
Were you? Okay. I didn't know that.
I was the one.
I'm gonna have to check you in the break because that's totally unacceptable, Roderick.
It was lots of slurs. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Hey, well, I know you mentioned that you want to focus straight on basketball. Definitely respect that. But when just to ask you directly, when people use your name for racism, misogyny, whatever, what is your response to that specifically?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing. I think everybody in our world deserves the same amount of respect. The women on our league deserve the same amount of respect. So people should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable. But yeah, I mean, this league is a league I grew up admiring and wanting to be a part of. Like, some of the women in this league were my biggest idols and role models growing up and helped me want to achieve this moment right here that I get to play in every single night. So just treating every single woman in this league with the same amount of respect, I think is just a basic human thing that everybody should do. Like, just be a kind person and treat them, how you would want to be treated. And I think it's, very simple.
Yeah, that's Caitlyn Clark being interviewed after a game. And again, let me be clear. Welcome back. Hottest show in the galaxy. We are here on SiriusXM Urban View, where talk empowers and becomes action. It is Foolishness Friday. Roderick Morrow is here. He does Balls Deep Sports, as well as, that's part of the blackguywhotips.com, which you can hear everywhere and go to there to hear it. I feel like it's not her fault that the media is covering her the way they are. I think it's the fault of people who are covering the media for clicks and algorithms and outrage and falling into this racist agenda, because I think there is a racist agenda out there to keep folk stoked up all the way to, and they're using it politically And this poor child is like, I just want to shoot some baskets and be a rookie. Yeah, I'm getting my ass whooped, but that happens, you know, and maybe
Right.
she doesn't know that happens. So, you know, I don't see the problem. I'm glad she said something. You
Yeah.
know, I would like her to say something stronger, but she's
Right.
22 years old.
22. Yeah. I think also she's 22 without the experience of a lot of the players who become good at basketball that are white, where they grow up around and in community with black people by necessity, because that's the power structure of basketball means you're gonna have to be around and with black people, and you start culturally getting more integrated into it.
Like what's it, Paige Buckers?
Yeah, like Paige is she deep in it. You know what I mean? But most of them are, and she just is in a very unique situation. She didn't go to a UConn. She didn't go to a South Carolina. She went to Iowa. You know what I mean? Like her entire, she's not ready and hasn't done the reading for the racial level of commentary people want from her. Now, basketball level, she's gonna be fine. And more than likely, she's probably more overwhelmed with that WNBA defense on her right now than she is even before she can get to the social media of it all. And then I think she doesn't seem to want to be famous like that. So she ain't on social media. She ain't dropping, you know, she's trying to stay focused on some, you know, basketball stuff. And I think the world's not going to allow that. We went crazy.
And that's not fair. And to your point that she wasn't raised up in a basketball culture where she was forced. And Iowa is one of the whitest states in the union, you know, and she grew up in a very homogenous environment where there are no conversations about, you know, white privilege or race. Like she didn't grow up having to talk about these things. And now she's being forced to talk about these things. And to your point, she's not equipped to. So we need to give her some grace on that. At the same time, people are using her as a weapon. They are weaponizing her to say horrible things about black people and black women in particular in the league. And they are using this to kind of create this wedge where there shouldn't be. And I hope that she isn't infected by that, because in her mind, you know, getting slammed to the ground or whatever, you may think that it's racial or personal. It can be personal at this point, because I don't know if I were playing in the league, if I would feel some ways if I was killing it, if I was Aja Wilson. If I was killing it, and I'm not getting this attention, yo, you know, I've been best in the league for 2 years, y'all. What y'all doing?
And 22 years old, also, while you getting your butt kicked by everybody, most people don't even have the wherewithal to see a bigger picture at 22 years old. Just to be able to step outside of yourself and be like, wait, this is everything that is what most of us are gonna feel is, why did you push me down? You know,
right.
What? Why I'm getting double teamed? I just got here. You know, like, so I guarantee you, you have to fight through that stuff as a competitor to see that this is about something bigger than basketball. It's about bigger than WNBA, and it doesn't help that the biggest people that are quote unquote on your side are saying some of the most asinine things on TV and radio that make people get upset. And of course, they're going to take a lot of that anger out on you. I'm glad she did disavow those people, just because I don't think that, unfortunately for her, I don't think it's a situation you can be neutral. Like where you can be like, hey, if they going to do that, I can't stop them. You have to be like, I don't want them to do that. Now, I still can't stop them. But I want y'all to know I'm not down with that. So when you see Nimrata out here tweeting about me, that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm trying to do for the Indiana Fever.
Right. It's a lot. It's a lot to expect from somebody. I mean, listen, regular everyday people who aren't in the spotlight have a hard time dealing with adversity, just as a human being. So, you know, good luck. Yes, she doesn't deserve to be on, doesn't have a right to be on the Olympic team, but it doesn't mean that's because she was white. It wasn't a racist decision. This Team USA has been playing together and all of this for a while, long before
it's white people on the team. It's white. It's white girls in the WNBA giving people the business now. I don't even know how this turned into this. This, like, I feel so.
You know how, Rod. You know how it turned.
It feels so weird. It just feels so weird to me because they never latched on to a white girl like this before. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like she courted it. Like, it's not like she's on her TikTok with in a flag talking about Make America Great. Like, she seemed to be the most low key, like, I just want a ball person. And they picked her out of all the people to be like, well, you gonna be the symbol for white supremacy.
Rob Parker tapped into that. It's Iowa. It's that Steph Curry effect. You know, Sue Bird wasn't launching the balls like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
6'6",
but I guess what I'm saying, Karen, I guess what I'm saying is, but where did the white supremacy come in? Because like Rebecca Lobo was one of them ones, but it's like, it's not like they was like, and also she repping for the city, you know, like they decided that Caitlyn repping for all white people. And I'm like,
to your point though, she has been insulated in a place that's been homogenous. Whereas these other girls went to, they, you know, it's different. Yeah. It's different, you know.
It's wild that they decided this without like I just can't. I don't know.
You know, to where we are. Listen,
Rob said it with Tiger, so maybe that's it.
But we should all be concerned because it speaks to the climate in this country right now. This is not an accident or a coincidence. This is where we are, and we got to pay attention, right? Yes. Because stuff's being planned. They got these, you know, there's stuff happening right now.
Yes.
I was talking about it yesterday about this Nazi stuff. Like, y'all pay attention. Caitlyn Clark is an avatar for something.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.